back, everybody, to another episode of A Recent Study Suggests. I'm your host, Sam, and with me, as always, my co-host.
This seems a little weird. I don't understand why you decided to leave things off. Normally I do.
Well, we never actually had a discussion about who starts these podcasts.
Now this feels a little awkward. I feel like I don't know what to do.
You haven't said your name yet. How are the people going to know who you are?
I am Robert.
You are Robert. And we...
All right, Robert and Sam.
Yes. Yes.
That's our band name.
Robert and Sam.
Mm-hmm.
See, you put your name first. That's not fair.
It's alphabetical.
You got it. No. You got to pass off the baton sometimes, Robert.
Well, I feel like it's alphabetical. You know, Robert and Sam. Even if it's our last name, it's still alphabetical. It's still my name first.
Yeah, but this is our podcast. These are our rules. And I think it's safe to, you know,
I think it's a little too late to switch things up now, Sam.
A little too late.
It's a little too late. Everyone's used to it. Everyone's thrown off right now. I'm thrown off. This is all a disaster.
You know, this hosting thing, I don't know how you do it. Like, where do I go from here?
All you've done is introduce us.
Speaking of...
And you're already like...
Passing the baton. I'm being kind. And now it's your turn.
And it's my turn to what?
You can say the things.
I can say the things. Okay, yeah. Well, this is A Recent Study Suggests. And this podcast, we basically search all over the internet for conversation starters.
Tirelessly,
all the time, 24/7. We don't get enough sleep. Because that's what a lot of the studies end up being. You know, conversation starters. They have us questioning why the study was done, who paid for it, the results of the study, especially the headlines. These studies always want like catchy headlines that people are just going to spread. They want their study to go viral in a sense.
Yeah.
That's probably not the best way to describe things nowadays, but that's what they want. They want the studies to go viral.
Yeah, and so today's study finds that the less you sleep, the less people like you.
The less you sleep, the less people like you. Okay. Initial thoughts. What does that mean?
When I first read this headline, I thought, well, duh, the less you sleep, the less people like you, because odds are you're more cranky.
Oh, so you thought it was like the way you behave when you get less sleep.
Oh, yeah, because I can recognize my own crankiness when I don't sleep enough. So I was like, oh, yeah, for sure. That's what it's about.
What does it mean to be cranky? What do you do? Like, if you recognize your own crankiness, but what does that mean?
I'm mean.
You're mean.
Yeah. I can find myself being very short with people, like with you or with my mother, which are the only two people that I interact with these days.
And you're being short with them, or with us, I guess. What is that different than what you normally are? Because you're 4'10". So I feel like you're short with us all the time.
Oh. That was a low blow, Robert. My height aside, I do notice that I am not very nice when I'm sleepy. I really say what I'm thinking. You know how when you say things to people, you kind of think about what you're about to say before you say it? Like, oh, is this going to hurt someone's feelings? That goes right out the door.
Some people think about that. I guess others don't.
I guess.
So you just let it out. Whatever you're thinking, if it's a mean thing, you just kind of let it out.
Yeah, there's no filter happening in my brain to catch all the mean things.
But you said that you realize that you're cranky. So do you try to fix it, or do you kind of just let, you know, your sleepiness kind of be an excuse for you being mean? Because I know some people do that. I
don't use it as an excuse to be a jerk all day. I'm like, oh crap, I just said a mean thing to my mother or to my Robert. So I try to then think a little bit more before I say things and not just let it spill out because I'm tired.
Yeah, slow down, reflect, and maybe I'm not being who I want to be right now at this moment.
I don't want to be sleepy Sam. Going back to the title of this study, what were your initial thoughts?
The less you sleep, the less people like you. It did seem like, okay, that's kind of obvious. And I feel like...
So do you think that the less that you sleep, the less likable you are?
I don't think so, because I feel like the less I sleep, it only heightens what I already am, and that's a quiet person.
Yeah.
You know, naturally I am a quiet person, and when I get less sleep, I just get quieter.
I do notice that about you. I can always tell when you're sleepy because you're not talking as much, and you don't smile as often.
I don't smile as often?
No. Or you'll try to smile just to kind of make me feel better. Maybe you become more caring of others. You think more before you speak. You're like, okay, I'm probably going to say something mean, so I'm just not going to say anything. In fact, I might even try to smile at you.
You know, I hadn't actually thought about it in that way, but maybe that is part of it. Like, I don't want to upset anyone, so I'm just going to be quiet.
Yeah.
Because maybe if I were you, I would just be mean or cranky about it and not let there be a filter.
Uh-huh. That's funny. We're very opposite. I get meaner and you get nicer. It's funny though, because I can see you trying to smile at me, but I can tell that you're sleepy because your eyes don't match your smile.
I'm not smiling with my eyes.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I feel like when you get sleepy, or when you are sleepy, I feel like the look on your face is kind of like a defeated look, like you just don't want to do anything.
Like me specifically or general you?
No, you specifically.
When I'm very sleepy at night, I kind of do this self-sabotage thing where I'm so sleepy that I don't want to get ready for bed. So I just keep myself awake.
You just keep yourself awake and
I
don't do anything.
elongate the process. Yeah. I don't do anything. I don't take off my makeup. I don't brush my teeth. I don't change into my pajamas. I'm just like, I'm too sleepy to do that. So I'm going to keep myself awake.
Yeah, you have a long routine before you go to sleep. But you will avoid that routine when you're sleepy because you're just like, I'm sleepy. I don't want to do anything.
I don't know why I do that. And it's one of those things where I can catch myself doing it and I hate it, but I can't stop. Like, I need you to lift me up and like put me in the bathroom so I can do these things. Not that you have done that, but maybe you should. Maybe then my crankiness would go down.
So you want me to carry you to the bathroom?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
It's me I'm the problem. I'm the reason why you are not, getting the sleep you need. Because,
yeah, maybe that's why I'm cranky and I'm not very nice to my mom sometimes when I'm sleepy.
Because I won't carry you to the restroom.
Yeah. Everybody needs a Robert to carry them to the restroom.
I'm glad we worked this out. I'm glad we came to the root problem, and that was me. I'm the root problem. I'm the one that makes you cranky in the morning.
Oh, I don't mean that. Robert doesn't actually make me cranky. You make me very happy.
Just making me feel bad about myself. But it turns out that crankiness or the behavior of when we're sleepy is not what people looked into in this study.
That surprised me so much. It has nothing to do with your behavior and has everything to do with your appearance.
The way you look. Mm-hmm. So maybe there is something with the term beauty sleep. Maybe that does mean something.
Yeah.
I guess if you get enough sleep, maybe you look more attractive, look beautiful. And if you don't, then I guess you just don't look attractive.
Yeah, you'll get more responses from people that are saying, "Oh, you look tired," or "Are you okay?" They're trying to seem like they're being sympathetic or they care about you. Like, are you doing okay? Did you get enough sleep? And you're like, I'm fine. Maybe I'm just not wearing makeup.
Yeah, I don't know if people know this, but when you tell someone that they look tired or they look sleepy, that's an insult.
It is. It is an insult.
Yeah, you're not caring about them. You're not interested. You are insulting them. You are telling them, I can see the visible changes in your face that make you look not like how you normally do.
Yeah, I've gotten responses like that from people that say, "Oh, you look tired," or "Are you okay? Like, you don't look well." I know that they mean well, but it sounds like they're insulting me.
Like, yeah, like maybe you just weren't wearing makeup that day.
I remember in middle school, we were taking like a tax test or something along those lines. And there was a girl who decided...
what's a tax test for someone who might not know? It's basically a standardized test, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So we take it at the end of the year and they test us for like reading, writing, math, science.
Yeah, I think it's specifically in Texas where we live. It's for Texas Assessment of Knowledge and Skills.
Yeah, but now it's called the STAR test, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that stands for something because we're out of school. We don't have to deal with it.
That was literally right after we graduated. They changed it to the STAR test. Mm-hmm. And I heard that it was much more difficult than the tax test. And I was like, whoops.
Okay, so you were taking a standardized test. Someone commented on how you look?
No. They weren't commenting on me. We were taking this test, and one of the girls that was in my class, she wasn't wearing makeup that day. And she used to wear makeup every day. Mm-hmm. And one of her friends, a guy, was like, "You look tired, or you look different. Like, are you okay?"
Are you okay?
And she felt so bad about herself. She asked the teacher if she could go to the restroom, and then she came back with a full face of makeup on.
Oh, that sounds so sad.
It was. I felt really bad for her.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to feel like it's just how I normally look. Mm-hmm. How I normally look, and you think I don't look well?
It's just my face.
Yeah.
I thought she looked fine. She obviously looked different because you get used to seeing a person with makeup every day. And so when you suddenly don't see them with makeup, you're like, oh, you look visibly different. But I think...
You shouldn't tell them that they look tired or sleepy.
Yeah. And then ask them if they're okay.
Yeah.
Like, they're fine. I think that also kind of just speaks to our age. We were in middle school. Yeah. And so this guy probably didn't learn that lesson. And that probably was a teachable moment for him. But, Yeah, even in high school, I got questions like that. They're like, are you okay?
Yeah, and you're more self-conscious at that age, you know? Like, you really care how people look at you or what they think of you.
I think in middle school, that's when I started wearing concealer. Because genetically, I have under-eye circles and bags, so I just always look tired.
You look like a raccoon.
Now I feel like you're teasing me. Yeah, and I still have these dark circles, and it just has gotten worse with age because I sleep less and less. But yeah, I started to notice my dark circles more because girls started wearing makeup, and I was like, oh, well, they look more awake and they look prettier. So I started wearing concealer.
But now you kind of do it for you, right? Like the makeup, even if when you work from home, you're wearing makeup.
It's 100% for me because I've done this test with you before in the past where I kind of treat it like a game where I put concealer under one eye and I don't put it on the other. And I ask you like, okay, can you identify which one has the concealer and which one doesn't?
Yeah, and it's like a game for you because I'm colorblind. So it is harder for me to see like makeup on people.
And sometimes you can't tell which one has the concealer and which one doesn't, which is kind of nice. But also like, I kind of want you to notice when I'm wearing makeup. Like, I just put in a little bit of extra effort because I want to look pretty for me, but also for you.
But my colorblindness kind of ruins that for you, huh?
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I'm sorry I was born colorblind.
At least you weren't born with dark circles like me.
I do have like bags under my eyes though.
But they're so cute.
But don't they give the appearance that like I'm sleepy all the time?
No.
Or like I don't get enough sleep?
No, those puffies that you have under your eyes, that was one of the first things that I noticed about you when I met you. We were like 12 or 13 years old, and I thought that those little puffies under your eyes were the cutest thing.
Like, oh, those puffies under his eyes means he doesn't get enough sleep.
Oh, poor thing. No, no, I thought it was very cute. I thought it made you look happy. Because when you're happy, when you're happy and you smile, your eyes kind of like squinch.
I also clap my hands. Because I know it.
Do you ever stomp your feet?
I don't do that.
Oh.
I don't do that one.
But getting into the study, it was done in the Karolinska Institute in Sweden. So
you have a coworker in Sweden that listens. Do you think that you pronounce Karolinska
oh my goodness,
correctly?
No, I can't confidently say that I said that correctly. So I don't know, maybe email us and kind of write it out phonetically if I pronounce that wrong. But I don't mean to offend anybody if I pronounce that wrong.
Yeah, sorry coworker in Sweden if Sam pronounced that wrong. We'll get it right next time.
So in this study, researchers photographed 25 male and 25 female students without makeup after they had slept for 8 hours for 2 consecutive nights.
Yeah, they also took a different group of 25 male and female students and photographed them after they had slept for 4 hours in consecutive nights.
So it sounds like they tortured the second group of people.
It kind of sounds like they did. Maybe the study was like a torture experiment, secretly disguised.
So obviously, if you look like you've been tortured for 2 nights, you're going to look a bit rough.
Then they showed the photograph of each student. Well, let's talk about this aspect actually. They just got 4 hours of sleep for 2 consecutive nights. They could not have been in the mood to get their picture taken at this time.
Yeah, you're right.
These people that were in the study.
You're right. They probably were less likely to smile. So they just looked like unhappy.
So they took photographs of the group and they showed 122 strangers. And those strangers rated them in different categories.
Yeah, so they rated them on attractiveness, health, sleepiness, and trustworthiness.
Attractiveness, health, sleepiness, and trustworthiness.
Mm-hmm.
Attractiveness, I guess, kind of makes sense because, you know, it's physical. You're looking at the photograph. You can see it.
And these people aren't wearing makeup.
Right. I think that's something that I forgot to mention. Neither the males or the females were wearing makeup. So it was like a control group. So no one can like fix themselves and make them appear like they weren't sleepy.
So honestly, I feel like that's kind of working against these people because they didn't even get to do anything to improve their face in the ways that they are used to if they do typically wear makeup. So attractiveness, that makes sense.
Health makes a little less sense to me. Like, can you really tell if a person's healthy just by looking at a picture of them? I don't feel like I could. Like, maybe obviously if like your nose was red, you could tell that someone had been like blowing their nose into a tissue and you can see the red on their nose. But otherwise, I don't feel like you can tell health based on a picture.
If they're not wearing lipstick, their lips might be pale, and pale lips kind of make it look like you're sick.
Yeah, or maybe because they're dehydrated.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
If you sleep less, you also may be dehydrated.
I think that kind of makes sense. And then obviously the next one is sleepiness.
Yeah, obviously you can tell if a person's been sleepy because people have said, "Oh, you look sleepy," because they can see that in your face.
Yeah,
can see
you look
that
tired. Are you okay? But then there's trustworthiness.
Yeah, trustworthiness. I don't understand how you can make this a category based on a picture. Can you tell if someone's trustworthy based on a picture?
I don't know if you can tell that they're trustworthy, but I think I've heard before that people are more likely to trust beautiful people. So you're more likely to talk with someone or to interact with someone if you find them attractive.
Interact with someone, that just feels so different than trustworthiness.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like trustworthiness is something you have to like learn about the person themselves, that you can't just see it.
Yeah, you earn someone's trust.
Yeah.
You can't just, like you said, you can't see that someone's trustworthy just by looking at them. Yeah,
so I guess 3 of these 4 categories make sense to me. Trustworthiness, I don't understand what exactly they were looking for. I don't think it should have been in here, but
yeah,
I guess
that
that's
is
what they
such
studied.
an oddball. Like, why did they just throw that in? Maybe the people who conducted this study find sleepy people less trustworthy.
Yeah, maybe there is like some bias in this too. Like this article that we looked at, they didn't break down the race of people who was in the study.
That's true. Usually in studies like this, they kind of give you the percentages to see how inclusive they've been of the population. And all they said was 25 male, 25 female. They didn't include ages either, which I think that my dark circles have increased with age. So maybe age could even play a role in just how sleepy these people look, even without makeup.
Yeah, they didn't include the age, but they did call them students, so I guess they would be college aged.
Yeah.
So maybe somewhere between 18
to
25?
24. Oh, I was going to say 25.
Young. I guess they're young people. Do you think that sleepiness shows less on someone young?
I would say so, for sure.
So do you think this study would be more effective if it was people of different ages, like a wider range?
I think so, because over a long span of time, not getting enough sleep, you're more likely to have hollow eyes or to really be able to see the effects of your sleep deprivation.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that if they had a wider range of ages, then this would be more accurate. But if it's you that we're testing for, your eye puffies would just get more prominent and you just get prettier.
I don't know if other people would like that, though.
You don't know if they would like what?
The puffies.
People love the puffies.
No, I think that would make them look like I'm sleepy and they wouldn't want to be near me.
No, that was not at all my reaction when I met you. When I saw those puppies, I was like, I need more of those.
But getting into the results, most people gave lower scores to the sleep-deprived images of the people they saw.
Yeah, they labeled them as less attractive and less healthy.
Which, again, I don't understand how you can really see healthy in a picture.
Yeah, I understand the attractiveness, the health. I wonder if even just comparing 2 pictures of me, like one where I'm wearing makeup and then one where I'm not wearing makeup, would people think, oh, she looks so tired in the second one where she's not wearing makeup? Like, is she okay? Would they be concerned about me? Would they think that I'm not trustworthy?
I think they would see those dark circles and they would think that, yeah,
she's not trustworthy.
No, that she's not.
Not someone that
she doesn't get enough
trust.
sleep.
Do you think they'd be concerned for me?
I don't know if they'd be concerned for you, but they would see that you don't sleep enough.
Okay, so you just think that it would be about the sleepiness. They wouldn't think that I'm less healthy?
They would think that I'm showing them a picture of a raccoon. Here's a person and here's a raccoon.
Oh my goodness.
Or like, which one is the person, which one's the animal?
You know, that's actually...
They're both human.
They're
both the same person.
Society has been probing us our whole lives to think that people with dark circles are not trustworthy. Maybe that's why the researchers even tested for trustworthiness.
Yeah, even the raters admitted to being less inclined to socialize with the people that appeared sleepy. You know, and the study would even go so far as to suggest that people would avoid contact with sleep-deprived people in order to reduce health risk. Because I think they think they're going to catch the sleepiness from them or something.
Or they look like they're ill.
Okay.
So they think that they're going to catch whatever illness they have.
Even though they're just sleepy.
Yeah.
Or maybe just not wearing makeup.
Maybe us now wearing masks kind of goes against this study a bit. Like, how can you tell if someone's sleepy now if they're wearing a mask? I just avoid people in general now because of the whole 6 feet thing. Even just little things like people coughing or clearing their throat in grocery stores is enough for me to be like, nope, I don't need to look at your under eyes to think that you're sleepy.
Yeah, and the study actually found that having an unhealthy looking face might activate disease avoidance mechanisms in ourselves. So we actively avoid someone that looks sick.
I think, honestly, that's really smart. That makes a lot of sense, to avoid someone who you think looks unhealthy.
Yeah, but it's so interesting that we think that because they're sleepy, they look ill.
Like, what is it in our brains that connects the sleepiness in someone's face to illness? I think that's something that we talked about earlier. Like, there's less color in your face. You might have pale lips or the dark circles.
Oh, yeah, the dehydration.
Yeah, because I know that when I don't sleep well, and I notice this because I don't sleep well often, I notice that I'm a lot more thirsty in the day. Like, I have this unquenchable thirst. I guess those are all factors that kind of play into being unhealthy. Like, when you're sick, doctors will say, like, oh, keep hydrated. That's one of the main things they tell you to do, is keep hydrated, lots of vitamin C. I guess you can tell when someone's dehydrated.
Yeah, I guess so. When I see you without makeup, it is when you're sleepy because you've taken it off. Or in the morning when you don't have any on. Mm-hmm. So I guess I kind of do equate you no makeup and sleepiness together. But that's only because that's when I see you without makeup. But I think you mentioned earlier, when I don't sleep, I don't feel like much changes in my face.
Yeah.
I think you just said that my puffies get bigger, I guess.
Yeah, you just get nicer.
I get nicer.
Yeah, because you don't say much. Like, you're more thoughtful. So ultimately, while the study found that people were found to be less attractive when lacking sleep, it discovered no change in others' perception of how trustworthy a person appears. Which is kind of like what we talked about.
Yeah, it kind of goes along with what we're talking about, like why was a trustworthiness a category in this? Mm-hmm. Like, you can't really gauge trustworthiness on a picture. We talked about it. I feel like it has to be earned.
Yeah. So if anything, it just proved that the one aspect that they tested for that seemed strange was indeed strange, and they should not have tested for it.
Well, it may be strange. I guess it's fine that it's tested for it so they can, like, prove that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, at least
your sleep doesn't matter when it comes to trustworthiness.
Yeah, they can rule it out. I don't know. I may find you more attractive the less you sleep.
I kind of feel like you don't necessarily want the best for me. I feel like you want me to sleep less, and you think I'm the root problem of why you're sleepy.
No.
I feel like in this episode we discovered that you have sort of issue with me.
No, I have no issue with you. I love your eye puppies.
But you don't want me to sleep.
They could be even bigger, even.
If I don't sleep. If I don't get enough sleep. Basically, this is what you're saying.
Maybe we should test for that.
This is what you're saying. You want me to not sleep. You want me to, so I can be quiet. And you want me to carry you to the restrooms when you're sleepy so that you can be happier and not mean.
Robert, I think you're twisting my words.
No, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what you were saying this whole episode.
I think that maybe we should test this on ourselves. See just how...
How about you carry me to the restroom?
What?
Yeah.
But you have no problem with getting ready for bed at night. I'm the one who does the self-sabotage.
I feel like I have problems actually getting myself to sleep. Because I will be in bed maybe like around 10, but not go to sleep until like 11:30.
Probably because you're listening to comedy podcasts. I don't understand that.
The comedy podcast has nothing to do with it. I don't start listening to the comedy podcast until I'm like right about to go to sleep. Beforehand, I'm just kind of watching other videos and whatever.
Maybe see other videos that are keeping you up. See, I listen to ASMR before bed, and that helps me to go to sleep. You listen to a bunch of comedy and things that your brain would want to continue to listen to. Yeah,
my self-sabotage is actively not going to sleep. Like, I'm already in bed. You know, there's nothing for me to do. Mm-hmm. I just choose to do something. While you, on the other hand, are sleepy, are not in bed, but you choose not to do the thing that would get you into that bed.
Yeah. We're very opposite in that way. Yeah, it's almost like you try to catch up on all the things that you weren't able to look at while the day was young. So how do you feel about this study? Was it worth all the funding that went into it?
What really caught my eye was the disease avoidance mechanisms.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me in a way. If someone's sick, you want to avoid them because you don't want to catch what they have.
Yeah.
But I never really thought about if you're sleepy, you might be perceived as sick. And so that people may not want to socialize with you if you're sleepy. Mm-hmm. That's something I hadn't thought about, and that was really interesting to me because the disease avoidance mechanisms make sense.
Yeah.
But what about you? What did you think of this study?
I'm a little disappointed that they only tested for physical attributes. Like, I feel like they could have dug deeper into this and compared it to personality traits a bit. Like, oh, are they more cranky? Like, really back this up and like put some more behind it.
Yeah, it seems like this study only took 4 nights.
Yeah.
4 days, really. While there are some other studies that would take the time to see how the person is throughout the week instead of just how they look on 2 specific days.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they were looking out for that second group who only got 4 hours of sleep a night.
I feel like they would have only allowed them to get 4 hours of sleep for like more than 3 nights. Then maybe it would have considered torture or something.
Oh, definitely. For sure. You know, I went out of the country in December, like late December, early January, and the time difference was so significant that I was only getting 2 to 4 hours of sleep every night. And
that does not sound sustainable at all.
It was awful. I felt like I was losing my mind. I didn't have enough energy to do little things that I enjoyed, like exercise, and it felt like torture.
Did anyone comment that you looked sleepy?
That I looked sleepy?
I imagine everyone who you went with out of the country, because you went for a class, right?
Yeah, so I went to Kenya.
So you were with a group of people. I imagine that they were also sleepy, so maybe they necessarily comment that on you.
Yeah, nobody was commenting on how sleepy I looked because everybody looked sleepy.
Oh,
Everyone
so
had foggy eyes. Like, are you okay? No, I think there were other things that showed that I wasn't okay, like me hanging my head. And maybe I did look ill. Because I was, slouching over, hanging my head, like leaning on my hand if I was sitting down. So
yeah, I can understand feeling ill because sometimes when I haven't gotten enough sleep, I feel like there's like remnants of a cold, like maybe a cold is starting.
Yeah.
Like I feel something in my nose.
Do you ever get chills? Because you're like, I don't know if you've ever been that sleep deprived, but you start to get chills. And so like you start kind of like getting a bit like, what is the word? Like recluse and like holding on to yourself, and it looks like you have a cold or you're ill.
Yeah. So that kind of makes me think about health, this category that they did. Because I still don't think that you can see it in a picture, but the person themselves can feel whether or not they feel healthy. They could have modified the study somehow, like got the actual participants more involved rather than have other people look at them.
Right. Although I will say, when you consecutively do not get a good amount of sleep, it does start to affect your health. And so, yes, it is an internal thing, but it starts to show externally. A lot of those signals are in your face, like the pale skin, the pale lips, the dark circles. So
yeah, but they couldn't torture these groups of students.
Yeah, we're not going to promote that.
Yeah, it's only 2 nights of 4 hours sleep. You can't have more than that. Otherwise, I feel like it'd become an issue.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and give our final thoughts on this study.
People like pretty people.
I guess it kind of would seem that way.
Because they seem healthier and like they've gotten enough. Yeah, attractive, and like they've gotten enough sleep. We're not even going to throw trustworthiness in there because apparently it doesn't matter, at least in this study it doesn't. And maybe we should test this out on Robert to see how big his puffies get. The end. Oh, and Robert should carry me to the restroom before bed so that I don't self-sabotage.
No, I think...
That was it. And I think that's all we got.
Episode? You can't do that.
Yep.
No,
I think that's
there's still more to say. You can't just
What else you got?
We have to make sure we tell the people where they can find us. They can find us at A Recent Study Pod on Twitter and Instagram, or they can even email their suggestions if they find their own studies at arecentstudysuggest@gmail.com. You can't forget that part, Sam.
Fine.
Make sure you also rate us 5 stars on wherever you're listening to us from, and share us with a friend. It would really be a big help to get other people that you know to listen to that podcast. It helps us grow.
Yeah, we're a small podcast, so any bit helps.
Yes. And I guess that pretty much wraps it up for us.
All right.
Until next time.
Bye.